We wanted to switch gears to some of the possible MVP race scenarios. Kevin Durant, with a masterful performance in one of his more recent games, a clutch three-point shot against the Raptors. He's done it all year long. Is this guy running away with it at this point? I mean, is it a foregone conclusion that he wins it now?
Kevin Durant is deserving of the MVP this year. He's had an amazing performance, dating back to him carrying them Thunder when Westbrook was out with his injury. All season long, Durant's been crazy. LeBron's held his own, especially, in the second half of the season, coming out of the All-Star break. But Durant's been incredible this year. He's made great improvements to his all-around game over the off-season. And what I've seen of him this year, I've been very impressed with Durant.
Daniel Obin, let me get your take on Kevin Durant. Does he deserve, and is he running away now with the MVP honors?
I think because his team is performing better and Westbrook is on and off the court because of injuries, it has to be Durant's award. If I had a vote, I'd vote Durant this year, and it's not because of voter fatigue. I think Durant has actually played better basketball than LeBron this season. Interesting thing to look at, though, when it comes down to it, will it matter come playoff time? As great as Durant is playing, I don't know that team can get past the Spurs, and if they lose to the Spurs, then Durant's MVP season won't even get him out of the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And what are we all talking about? As far as the award race between the two of them, I think this year Durant wins, and it would be fun to see them meet in the finals just because we very rarely get to see the top two MVP candidates go head-to-head at the same position with an NBA title on the line. But I don't know. The Spurs are looking too real this year, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, we had that discussion a couple of weeks ago, just comparing and looking back in history at the last times. We've seen two NBA MVPs, presumably in their prime, going off against each other in a heated MVP race again. As Daniel just mentioned, it would be fantastic to see them in the NBA Finals. Randy Cruz, what are your thoughts on the NBA MVP race?
Even before the season started, I just felt like it was Durant's year. I've been on record saying Durant was going to, one, win the MVP, and two, go as far as Oklahoma City winning the championship. I still feel that way until I see anything other drastically change. But Kevin Durant is just a freak of nature. He's 6'10", 6'11", however tall he is. He can knock down any shot from 25 feet out. His game has got tremendously better. And with or without Westbrook, it's funny because when he was without Westbrook, he played some of the best basketball in his career. Now, even when Westbrook is on the floor, he still plays great. And right now, his team is, I think, second in the Western Conference without his second best player. And he's just been having a phenomenal season. And LeBron just LeBron is LeBron. He's great. He's going to have his great seasons. But I think Kevin Durant is having a better overall season than LeBron James. And I think people, the writers and the people who's going to vote for this should actually acknowledge the fact that Kevin Durant is this year's MVP. And so to answer your question, he's been my vote since day one.
Right. Interesting. I think a lot of people would definitely agree off the points that you just eloquently placed. I definitely think Durant has played himself not only into the conversation, but I agree with you. It seems as though the entire season LeBron James has just been a little bit behind as far as his actions. The team obviously has struggled as of late. That certainly doesn't help. And you brought up the Westbrook factor. He's been playing all year without Russell Westbrook, or for the most part all year without Russell Westbrook, and he still put up numbers that anybody would definitely love to have as far as NBA. So I would definitely agree with you in that regard. I think Durant has run away with it right now, and he pretty much has had a stranglehold on that since the season is gone. It's just that, again, when LeBron goes and does LeBron-like things, we tend to look his way because he tends to do it more splashier. But I definitely think what you bring up is a very valid argument. Thomas Kristenko, what are your thoughts on the NBA MVP race, specifically Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I think it's Kevin Durant's award to lose right now because Kevin Durant's been doing spectacular things all year. And when I think about it, you don't really think of the Thunder or Durant having a bad stretch like what you think of LeBron having right now. like Kevin Durant has been really consistent throughout the years. Even though he had that one great month, I think it was January into February, he was great. Other than that, he's been good, and nobody's really been questioning him when they're talking about the MVP race. The only time we're actually talking about him not winning is because LeBron's doing great things, not because he's not doing great things. So I feel like it's always been Kevin Durant because he's been more consistent throughout the year, where LeBron's had a couple of rough patches with the Heat, as he's going through right now, where even though he's not putting up awful numbers, he's still not being as great as Kevin Durant has been all season long right now.
Right. Interesting. Andrew Doxey, let me get your take on Durant, MVP race, LeBron, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, LeBron James is a better player. Kevin Durant has had the better season. That's just how it comes. That's how it comes down for me. Personally, if I had a vote, I would pick Durant, not because of voter fatigue, even though that does play a factor into whoever the media voting for the MVP award. That does play a factor. But if you look at it, Kevin Durant's been more consistent, and you also have to look at team success. Oklahoma City has been, remarkable the whole season. And if you look at Miami, they've struggled a little bit, even with LeBron having some backup in Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and better role players to surround him. So I just think that Kevin Durant has the award in his back pocket, ready for April. Yeah, April to come around for him to get his award.
Interesting. Yamaha's here. Let me get your thoughts on LeBron, Durant, the whole MVP race.
I think Andrew said it perfect. LeBron James is hands down the better player. Kevin Durant, though, is more valuable. I mean, look at what this guy is doing. The Oklahoma City Thunder have won 23 road games already this season. The only team that has won more than them, San Antonio Spurs. They're second in the West. They're one of the best teams in the league. And if you look at this roster, he's basically doing it with a bunch of people that aren't really well-known players. You take Kevin Durant off the roster, and then Westbrook playing on and off with the back-to-backs. This team is not even going to make the playoffs in the Western Conference. You take LeBron James off the Miami Heat, they might fight for that 8 to 7 seed. Kevin Durant is more valuable to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They need him. He is MVP this season. I think the league should understand that he is MVP. Not only has he become a better defender than he has in the past, this guy's averaging 32 points on 50% shooting. He's shooting 40% from 3 and 87% from the line. He is having LeBron numbers when it comes to rebounds around 8, and he's still passing out 6 assists per game.
Hey, we're all in agreement here. I think all of us agree that Durant definitely deserves the MVP award. LeBron has had a very valiant season, but there's no doubt in anybody's mind Durant has been better more consistently throughout the entire 82-game slate so far of what we've seen from both of those two guys.